Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this particular video, we'll be looking into a very interesting statistical method of identifying or detecting the outliers. And the name of the method is nothing but IQR method. So, without further delay, let's start. So, first, we'll be having an overview introduction about the IQR method. This is a very robust method and which is based on statistics, which is used for the outlier or anomaly detection. The key properties of this method is that it works for skewed distribution. If your distribution is tilted skewed, or if it is positive or negative skewed, or if it is normally distributed also, then in that case this particular method works. It is not influenced by extreme values. Yes, so as and when we'll be studying more about outlier detection, we'll be understanding why I have written this particular point. So it is not influenced by extreme values. It is simple and interpretable. Okay, so we can simply understand what exactly is happening behind the scenes, and it is very explainable. No normality assumption is required. Yes, so this is one of the method which does not assumes anything. Whatever may be the data, it will identify the outlier. So what is the approach? Okay, so approach is very simple. We'll have to use the interquartile range, that is IQR, to establish the boundaries. Okay, now once we do that, the points which will be falling outside 1.5 into IQR, this is the very threshold that we are going to consider for this particular method. So we'll calculate 1.5 into IQR. So points which are falling outside this particular range from Q1 and Q3, that is your first quartile and third quartile, are flagged as potential outliers. Yes, they are flagged as outliers. Now this could depend on a particular use case also. If as per the use case, the threshold has to be the threshold can be customized, but generally this is the logic. Now there are certain steps that we need to follow to flag the outliers. The very first step is to sort the data, sorting it in any order, ascending or descending, just that we'll have a particular hierarchy. Next, we'll need to find the Q1 and Q3, that is first quartile and third quartile. This can be easily found out. I already have explained you before, but still we'll be covering this again in this particular video. Next, we'll be calculating the IQR, that is the interquartile range, with the help of a formula Q3 minus Q1. Next, we'll compute the bounds, that is your lower limit and upper limit, with the help of this particular formula. And then we'll flag the outliers which are not lying in that particular range, will be considered as outlier. Now, why 1.5 into IQR? Why not any other number? Let's say 2.5 into IQR or 3.5 into IQR. Why not others? So basically, the 1.5 multiplier is a rule of thumb that balances the sensitivity and robustness. It captures the significant deviations without being overly strict, making it effective for most practical applications. So basically, this is finalized after multiple trial and test by experts of statistics. So this is something which balance sensitivity and robustness. So that is why this is particular 1.5 number is actually being used. So I hope the overview of IQR method is clear to you all. Now we'll look into the details of it. This is a very basic formula of IQR. Interquartile range IQR is nothing but Q3 minus Q1. That's it. Whatever computation of Q3 and Q1 comes, you just have to subtract that. Now, once you compute your IQR, you need to compute the lower bound and upper bound, right? So for that, your lower bound, to the left hand side, what happens is you can simply compute this lower bound with the help of this formulation Q1, that is your first quartile, minus 1.5 into IQR. Yes, the previous one, which threshold which we have decided before, this we are going to subtract it from the first quartile. To find out the upper bound, Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR, this is your formulation. Okay, you just have to add the threshold that we have defined earlier to the third quartile. So I hope I hope the upper bound and lower bound is clear to you all. Once you compute the lower bound and upper bound, you will have the detection rule. Any data point which is lower than your lower bound, okay, which is lesser than your lower bound, or any data point which is greater than your upper bound, that is considered as potential outlier. So I hope the entire formulation step is clear to you all. Now, numerical example we'll be taking in so that everything will be clear to you all. Let's say we have a given data set that is this array of integers. So 10, 12, 13, 15, 100, 20, 22, 25, and 26. These are some of the data points of our data set. Now we'll be simply solving this particular example to find out what exactly is the outlier in this particular data set. Now by looking at this particular data set itself, you can simply compute and finalize that yes, 100 is the outlier. But let's prove it by IQR method. Let's go step by step and see how IQR will identify the outliers. Okay, so as per the IQR method, first step is to sort the data in ascending order. So sorted data becomes like this. Okay, so 10, 12, 13, and so on till 100. Once you do this, your step 2 is to find out the quartiles Q1 and Q3. So along with Q1 and Q3, you also have to find out the median. Okay, so that from which we could actually potentially find out the Q1 and Q3. So by looking at the data set, how many data points are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are total 9 data points in this particular example. So since it contains odd number of values, that means middle element will be your median, that is 20, because to the left of the median there are 4 values, and to the right of the median there are 4 values. So 20 is your median. So I'm writing median or Q2 as 20. Now let's compute Q1, that is your first quartile, which is the 25th percentile, below which 25% of the data points lies. So to the left of 20, there are 4 data points, right? So to compute the Q1, we have to take the median of all these 4 data points. So middle values are 12 and 13 because these are even numbers, right? Because there are even number of data points. So 12 and 13 is the middle value. We'll take the average of it, and that will be your Q1. So 12 plus 13 is 25. 25 divided by 2 is nothing but 12.5. That is your Q1, that is the median of your left half. Similarly, we'll calculate the Q3, that will be the median of the right half, that is 22, 25, 26, and 100. So the middle two values are 25 and 26. We'll take the average of these two, that is 25 plus 26 divided by 2, which is nothing but 25.5. So now we have got the median, the Q1 and the Q3 from this particular data set. Okay, so now that we have got these three values, now let's compute our IQR, that is the third step. So computing IQR is nothing but Q3 minus Q1. Q3 is 25.5 and Q1 is 12.5. We'll subtract it and get 13 as your IQR. Once you get the IQR, step 4 is to compute the bounds, lower bound and upper bound. Lower bound is nothing but your Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. What is IQR? IQR is 13. So 1.5 into 13 becomes 19.5, and your Q1 is 12.5. So 12.5 minus 19.5 becomes minus 7. So lower bound is minus 7, and similarly upper bound is 25.5 plus 19.5, which is nothing but 45. So we have computed lower bound and upper bounds. Now the next step is to identify the outliers. Now that we have got the lower bound and upper bound, we could simply plot the box plot, or we could simply manually check which all are the data points which are not lying in this particular lower bound and upper bound. So your lower bound is minus 7 and upper bound is 45. So if you look at the data set, these are the data points, right? These data points lies actually between minus 7 and 45, except 100. If you see the value 100, it is actually greater than 45, which does not sit in this particular criteria. So that is why, since 100 is greater than 45, outlier is being detected. 100 is the outlier. If you also plot it in the box plot, you will see that 100 does not sit in this particular lower bound and upper bound range. So I hope the computation of the entire outlier detection using the IQR method is clear to you all. This was a very toy data set that we have taken, but on a large scale also the same thing happens. Now let's have a look at the visual interpretation of box plot. So over here, box plot anatomy is what? Box spans between Q1 and Q3, that is your IQR. Here it is said that most of the data points sits in this particular range. Whiskers extends to minimum or maximum non-outliers. Okay, so basically your whiskers, or I would say the lower number in your data set and the upper number of your data set are nothing but your range in which data points will lie. Line inside the box is nothing but your median. So you can see this particular line which is actually sitting between the IQR is your median. Then the points beyond the whiskers are outliers. So this is the outlier. You can see the whiskers are nothing but this two lines, the lower limit, these two lines, the lower and the upper bound. These are nothing but whiskers. So basically, whatever points which are lying outside this particular whiskers are nothing but outliers. So in our example, the box plot clearly shows that 100 as an out is an outlier. It appears as a lone point far beyond the upper whisker, visually confirming our IQR calculation. So this is how you can visually interpret the presence of outliers through box plot. So I hope it is very much clear to you all. Now let's have a look at the advantages and limitations of this particular IQR method. So advantage is that it works very well for skewed distributions. It is not influenced by extreme values as we already have seen. It is simple and effective for exploratory data analysis. Yes, for the very basic stage you can simply use this particular method and get it sorted. Next, it does not contain any distribution assumptions. It does not assumes anything beforehand that your distribution should be like this or like this. So it is easy to interpret and visualize. Yes, you can by simply seeing the plot tell whether the outlier is present or not. It is computationally efficient. Yes, the limitations of this particular method is that no model based anomaly scoring. So this does not have any kind of scoring to the outliers which are present. It may miss contextual outliers. Yes, very important. Contextual outlier we already have seen in the previous video. They are those outliers which does not have a very unique value from the entire data set, but based on the context, it does not sits in that particular criteria. So these kind of outliers would not be actually determined by this particular technique. So that is why this is a limitation of it. This particular outlier detection method has a fixed threshold 1.5 into IQR, which might cause some issues. It is less effective for multivariate data. Okay, next, it does not capture temporal patterns and it is sensitive to sample size. So these are some of the limitations that this particular IQR method has, and you would be understanding the meaning of all these limitations as and when we look after the other methods to detect the outlier, which would be improvements over this particular method. So that is why I would suggest you to stay calm and understand things step by step. So I hope whatever is being discussed till here is clear to you all. Now let's conclude this particular video by having a look at the key points that we have understood from this particular entire video. So first, definition of outliers. Outliers are data points that significantly deviate from the majority caused by errors, natural variations or genuine anomalies. IQR method is what? It is nothing but it uses the quartiles Q1 and Q3 and the interquartile range to establish the boundaries for quartile detection without distribution assumptions. Then the formulation is given as follows: the lower bound, upper bound, and the points outside are nothing but the outliers. Now, the best use of this particular thing is that it is ideal for exploratory data analysis, especially for skewed data. It is simple, robust, and easily interpretable. This is the advantage of it. So, I hope the entire video is clear to you all. IQR method is very important and you should never skip it. So, I hope you like this particular video. For if you have any single doubt, then you can straight away put it in the comment section. I'll be happy to solve it. For more such videos, do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also hit the bell icon and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Please join me on Telegram. Thanks for watching. Have a good day ahead.